Happy first day of spring, guys.
Today is the day that the spring show would have been.
And speaking of getting ready to go, it is that time. It is 2:00. So let's put this show on the road, my friends. It is, I think, the 20th of March, 2021, another Saturday, wonderful day for a Division 8 meeting. Meeting housekeeping notes, of course, same as we always have. Mute yourself during the meeting if you're not already. It just makes it easier then for the post-production when I do the recording and post it to YouTube, that I don't have to go, oh man, I got to cut that out, Just makes it a little bit easier. If you do need to unmute yourself, that's okay. But when we get to the point where we're going to do approve the minutes and the treasurer's report, unmute yourself, say your name, make the motion or the second to the motion. That makes it easier for us to know who has said that. And then if you got questions, go ahead and put them in chat. And Russ, Barbara are watching that. And of course, because it's being recorded, do be polite, very polite. Try and keep it on topic if at all possible. When we get to the end of the meeting, and there will not be a back to basics today because of my crunch on time, we're going to take a 5-minute break as usual between the business meeting and presentation and get that loaded, and away we go. First of all, welcome to Chris Wiles. I did not see him join the meeting, but Chris Wiles, a brand new member, joined in February. Welcome. Yay. I know that Stan and I have been doing some email with him, as well as Ron, and we've got a couple other new members coming in, but they haven't hit the official roles. So I'm not going to say welcome to them quite yet. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting as posted on the website?
I make the motion. This is Eric Wagner.
Eric, motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Mike Berry.
Mike Berry, a second. Are there any nays to that? Anybody going to disapprove that? If not, we'll assume that they are, we'll mark them as approved and move along. Mr. Berry, you are up with the treasurer's report, sir.
Okay, kind of short this month. On the expense side, any questions?
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Stan White, so moved.
Stan White moved. And
Second, Rick Ware.
Rick Ware, a second. Didn't hear any comments. Are there any objections or anybody opposing it? All right, we'll mark it as approved. Rick, I think you have something to report to us this month.
Pardon me. Yes, I do. First off, I'd like to thank anybody that made a contribution to the welfare fund, because that's part of what Mike and I administer. Bob Johnson's wife, Ramona, had a knee replacement surgery. She's out of the hospital now and in rehab. It's her second knee replacement, and she said she's going to learn new rehab methods this time around. I believe that's all that we have in that category.
Thank you very much, Rick. And thanks for taking care of that as you do every single month. Mark, do you have anything this month? I know we talked earlier and you said you didn't have much of a report.
No, essentially Joe earned scenery, of course, and that would be awarded Celebration Station along with MMR. And I've had the opportunity to talk to several people, and we're here to help. That's about it.
Yes, and I'll say that if you have not yet heard from Mark Norman, you probably will hear from Mark Norman, encouraging you to move along with your achievement program work. And that's a good thing, because that's part of what he's supposed to do. Joe Fields, of course, used to do that as well, but he was able to see everybody face to face during meetings. We'll get that fixed here coming up. It's one of these days. Barry, are you there?
I'm there. How's everyone doing today?
No, all yours, sir, for the next 20 minutes.
Well, I tell you, this is wonderful. We had 13 entries for the March Charlie Keeling model contest. That is the most entries we've had since I began assisting with all of this. So I just want to give a big shout out to all of our entrants this time for making such a fantastic effort in structures, and just off the charts excellent modeling this time around. So with 13 entries, we have a special contest rule that kicks in, and that is that when there are 10 or more entries, we give 2 first place awards of 3 points each, and then we give one second place award for 2 points each. In addition, we had some ties today, so there are contest rules related to the ties as well. Starting with third place, we have a three-way tie. How's that? And so just want to say congratulations to Rick, to Steve, and to Russ for 3 really amazing modeling efforts there. Now, moving on to second place, we have another tie, but that tie is between the same person, Paul Downs. So congratulations to Paul for winning for both his cafe and his camelback structures. And you can see the dime that's next to the structures there in N scale. That really puts things in perspective there in those photographs. So because Paul tied himself, the contest rule related to that is that just one entry is made when people have more than one entry for points. So we're going to consider this just one set of points being given for second place. So that kind of removes the tie element for that, if you guys are following me there. So now, if you're not totally confused, let's go on to first place. And first place was really clear. The votes were really clear for Al Goodman for his chemical plant. So congratulations, Al, for taking first place in this month's contest with a really outstanding effort there. And as always, we want to thank everybody that's a part of the contest for all the work that they do. And here are our honorable mentions today. So we're just grateful for all of the work that y'all do and taking the time and effort to make your entries and to share them with all of us is very inspiring. So thank you to everybody. So what we'll do then is we will award 2 first place awards of 3 points each. And those will go to our first place entry and to our second place entry. And then for the tie for third place, we'll go ahead and give what would have been second place award of 2 points each to each of those that tied for third place. So we'll give a generous amount of points out for everybody that qualified for all of these different rules that came into effect this month. When I write the article for the pie card, I will explain all of this over again so you guys can see how the rules come into effect and how it all worked and have some clarity. And as always, if you all have any questions on that, please feel free to contact me about any questions that you might have. I do have a special request though, and that is as we have more and more people participating and as we're doing this online, please follow the rules about the type of photographs that you submit, that they are the correct type of photograph that's being requested for the ballot software that we use. And then we will be letting you know as we go back to meeting face-to-face again in the future about how we will be modifying the contest rules so that folks can still participate virtually, and then those that come face-to-face to our meetings can bring their models as well. So there will be some changes in the rules to allow for that, and we will be letting you all know how that works for the future when we start meeting face-to-face again. So next month, we're up for passenger cars for the April contest. And thanks again to everybody for being a part of the program.
Hey, Barry.
Yes.
Russ here. Can you just briefly elaborate more on what you meant by I guess, the type of photos for the contest? I mean, are they?
I'll address that, Barry, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
They need to be JPEG, not TIFF, not any other kind of weird Apple photographs. They need to be JPEGs, please, because that's what goes into the ballot. If you send a photograph in another format, I can change it, but that takes additional time. So thank you for submitting your JPEGs.
Anything else, Ron, Barry?
Nope.
Company store, Ron, do you want to say something about the company store?
we're open for business 24/7, 365. We recently, if you didn't hear or notice, we did update the company store on the website recently. So we have a lot more items to look at there. So if you need something, please go online and take a look.
Russ, you have the next 17 slides. Well, maybe 4 or 5.
Go. Thanks, Fred. We're pleased to welcome today Dave Ellis from the Division 12. He's going to give a very interesting talk on expanding your horizons with backdrops. I think all of us would like to do more with our backdrops, so I'm looking forward to that. More on Dave in a few minutes. Thanks, Fred. A week from tomorrow, on the 28th, out at the Churchill Downs building, the 600 building there, there'll be a celebration station. We've done this before. Fred and Mark will be handing out AP certificate and plaques and some of the monthly contest certificates. If you have become a new member, I think Fred's going to have some badges for you that hopefully here in a few more months we'll be needing those back when we can go face to face. And as Ron said, he'll be out there with apparel from the company store and some hand sanitizer. So that's, and I think, Fred, if I remember correctly, that if it's a nice weather, we'll still have to social distance, but you can bring your lawn chair and we can have a little chit chat while we're waiting for members to show up.
Right, socially distanced and masked up out there is the rule for this event.
There you go. Next month for our gathering, which will be April the 10th, we're going to have Rob Cooper, and Rob has gone crazy with Woodland Scenic's Just Plug system, but it really is pretty neat what he's been able to do with it, lighting buildings, street lights, and car lights with it. Plus the fact that I think a lot of us know that you start to do some lighting, and to see it, you got to turn off your normal fluorescent, lights. So Rob has gone to all the expense of adding some blue can lights that are dimmable. So it really is going to make a nice presentation of what Rob's been doing. In the 60s, most every railroad started combining some of their name trains because of lack of ridership. So Bruce McCohen will tell us about how Santa Fe did a couple of their trains with slides and his own train that he made up there. So that should be pretty neat. And last, Steve Lasher will be doing his final part on signaling. And this time what we'll do is incorporate some of the real life deals that he's been telling you about for our model railroads. So it should be a really good gathering on the 12th. I'm sorry, the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Fred. And also next month for our monthly meeting, we're going to have Spring Creek Model Train Shop give us a tour. You may remember that they were actually scheduled to do today, but unfortunately, due to a death in the family, they had to reschedule, and Dave Ellis was nice enough to be able to switch for today. So Spring Creek is back on deck for next month. And
you know what? Actually, Russ, you know what? Let's have Bob Dawson talk to this for a minute.
Okay, sure.
Hey, Bob.
NRHS meeting is going to be the second Friday of the month this time, because it's kind of falls in the middle of the Easter thing with Good Friday and all that. And the speaker will be our own Barry Christensen. And Barry's going to, I won't go through the whole title, but he's going to go through 50 years of pretty much rail fanning, picking up when he started off a long time ago using an Instamatic camera all the way up to the modern, and it's California area stuff for the most part. And so I think it's something that a lot of us haven't seen before. So, well, a few of you have, I know, but anyway, so that's basically it. Normally our meetings are the first Friday of the month. They're on Zoom, thanks to Division 8, and everyone is invited. We start with the program, so you don't have to sit through a business meeting if you don't want to. Thank you.
Although the business meeting is generally 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, it's like it's some of you who went to the old Mid-Central Region conventions of years ago, and used to have the annual meeting to see how quickly they could call it to order and how quickly they could adjourn. Well, we're not quite that fast, but we try to get close.
Ron, you want to talk to this at all?
We'll just say a quick word that we're still planning on having a train show on November 13th between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So start thinking about it. It won't be long before we're in full planning mode for this event, talking to you, asking for volunteers. I had a conversation with a member this morning who predicts that it'll be much larger than usual because of pent-up demand. So we're going to need to increase our staff on the floor to accommodate all our visitors with money to spend.
Thank you, Ron. And as always, as we always tell you, if you want to stay connected, the best way is, if you're not a member, join Groups IO, the Division 8 Groups IO email group. I know a lot of you are, and that's a great thing. There's a lot of good information being shared in there, a lot of good discussion going back and forth as well. The Facebook page, of course, and the website. And if you find something needs to be changed, let us know. Let me know, let Ron know, let Tom Guthner know, and we will get that fixed. And that brings us to the end of our agenda. And because we are not doing a back to basics presentation, we are adjourned as far as the business meeting goes.